Hey y'all, it's Renee here. I'm laughing because I just shot like 2 clips, 15 minutes to do this video, and I forgot to turn my mic on, which when it is plugged into my Canon, there is no sound. Once you plug in a mic to that mic jack, it disables the camera mic. So I'm just sitting here talking my head off to you guys about all kinds of things, and it was not recording the sound. And I realized that when I got up to turn the mic off, and it was not on to begin with. So anyway, I'm going to try to kind of rehash again. First of all, I'm going to start with telling you guys about Twisty. So I did like a bitching about my doctor video on this channel a while back, and I think that I knew then that Twisty was going to have her gallbladder out, or did I? I don't remember. I make so many videos, even videos that I never post, so I lose track of what I've said and what I've done. But anyway, yeah, she did have to have her gallbladder out. And as you know, if you watch that video, my doctor missed that diagnosis. It was actually, she sent us to a gastroenterologist to have colonoscopy done. Basically, she was rolling her eyes like that, like, well, I'll send her for a colonoscopy, but I just don't see anything wrong. Basically saying, you're a motherfucking liar, but I'm going to patronize you and just send you for it. So anyway, the gastroenterologist is the one who pointed it out. He had her file, and he said, what about the gallbladder? And, I was just like, what about it? And he said, he rolls his chair. I think I did tell you guys this. But anyway, he said, it's, that's what's wrong. It's in her chart. He said, how did your doctor miss that, is what he said. So anyway, he sent us to a surgeon. The surgeon scheduled her for to have her gallbladder out, and there's a technical term for it, but I ain't going to try to pronounce it. So we went to, I'll call him Dr. G, the surgeon, to schedule her gallbladderectomy, or whatever you call it. And he's a really nice doctor. I like him. Really nice surgeon. He, he came in and talked to her a couple times in the room before they took her back to do the surgery, and he asked her before he left the last time, he said, do you have any questions for me? And Twisty's first request was, can I see it when you get it out? And he was like, well, I can't do that because we have to send it off to pathology, and also she had to have a biopsy on her liver, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. So he said, but if the machine's working, he said, we kind of have antiquated equipment back there, but, once I get the camera in there, if the printer's working, I'll print you a photo out of your gallbladder. So he did. And when he did, now that's, I kind of explained that to let you know that I wasn't asking to, like, try to get my PA in trouble for not diagnosing this gallbladder issue or not recognizing it in her paperwork. But it was because Twisty wanted to see it, and I was really shocked when he brought it to me. I didn't know what I was looking at. I've had some medical training. I was actually going to be an RN at one point, but that ship has sailed. And so, he shows me the photo, and he says the unusual thing about it is, okay, let me stop right here. If you're squeamish and you can't stand to see the inside of somebody's body, you probably don't want to look at this. It bothers me a little bit because it's the inside of my child's body, but as long as it's like this close up and just her gallbladder, I'm good. Had I seen her heart or, something else, I might freak out. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys the picture. So if you're squeamish, skip over 30, 40 seconds so you don't have to look at it. So this little white thing right here is her gallbladder. If you have had medical training, then you will know, like Dr. G told me, this is supposed to be a really dark color. It's light because, in his exact words, her gallbladder was sick for a very long time. And he just kind of looked at me like, should have been diagnosed earlier. The other thing is, when we went to the gastro doctor, and I'm just going to say that because I have a lot of trouble saying that other word, he asked me, his question was, are you Cherokee or do you have Cherokee in your blood? I said, I don't really know, but my birth mother mentioned one time that one of mine or her great-grandparents was Native American. Really odd, right? Like, everybody wants to say, I got a little bit of this in me, I got a little bit of that in me, you know, I'm part this, I'm part that. Now, I've never really thought of that because I know that we're Scottish mostly, and we look Scottish. We have the blue eyes and the red hair, most of us. And when my brother had hair, he had red hair, one of them did. So, you know, just pale skin, really fair skinned people. And you never think of us having any Native American in us, but the gastro doctor said that Cherokee has a higher rate, or whatever the right wording is. I got it right the first time in the first video, but now I can't think of it. But they usually have their gallbladders removed before the age of 30. And I had mine removed around the age of 30, and after Twisty had hers done, a lot of family members messaged me like, you know, I had to have mine taken out when I was 20 something. I had to have mine taken out when I was 30. Mine was out when I was, so, you know, I'm thinking it's got to be what it is then, so anyway, it is not always a fat thing. And I think that that's the reason Twisty's had to be out, because it was it's in her blood that, you know, we have something, whatever. Cherokees have a predisposition to having their gallbladder out really early. So anyway, that was something interesting to find out, and I totally plan when I have some extra cash to send off and get my DNA done, because that got me really interested. Like, wow, I didn't know that. But anyway, so that's that. Now, I don't plan on like suing my PA, the physician's assistant, or anything. I'm just really pissed at her. Just really pissed that, you know, Twisty suffered for over a year with this, and every time, I mean, I saw it. I told her, I said, you don't see what she looks like when she's not feeling good. She says her tummy hurts, she goes pale, she's sweaty, she's clammy, she looks like she wants to pass out, she's nauseous, she can't eat, but, you know, it upset me because my kid was in a lot of pain for no reason. This should have been done about a year ago. And Dr. G, the surgeon who took the gallbladder out, said that she had a really large gallstone that was actually, how did he put it, like capping off the drainage to her gallbladder. So he said that was really, not only was it making her really sick, but it was really dangerous because things could start flowing backwards. So anyway, the other thing is, I know there's not a lot of subscribers on this channel, but I'm gonna talk because I like to talk, like do videos, and you never know where this channel will go someday. I've been doing a lot with my photography work. I did my cousin's wedding. Seems like I'm repeating everything, but it's because there was no sound in the first video. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, my cousin got married and had a really nice, really beautiful wedding. This wasn't a little wedding, it was a big deal. They rented the Stony Mountain Vineyards in Albemarle. A really pretty place. The view out there is just awe-inspiring. She had told me about 6 to 8 months ago. She asked me would I do her wedding, and I really lowballed it. I'm not even going to tell you guys what I charged for it because I know it was not enough. But I said I had to drop out of school, and I'm not a professional, but I can take clean, clear, crisp pictures. I don't do a lot of photoshopping, so there won't be a lot of those fancy photoshopped images. But she said, I don't care, I just want wedding photos, and I love your photography. She said, I always watch your photography page, and I'm in all of it, and I want you to do it. So I said, okay, just be sure when you pick a location that you let me know so I can go ahead of time whenever I have time and just check it out so that I know how I'm going to be moving around when I get out there, because I'm not that much of an amateur that I'm just going to show up and take pictures. So she said, okay, and a few weeks ago, and her wedding was a couple of weeks ago, she messaged me and said, are you still going to do my wedding? I said, yeah, when are you getting married? And she's in September 11th. And I said, are you kidding me? This was like September the 4th or something. Which I said, oh yeah, okay. I thought about it for a while, and I was actually going to say no because I was so nervous. And I Googled Stony Mountain Vineyards, and I said, well, the inside looks nice. She didn't tell me it was going to be outdoors. So anyway, I said, you know, Twisty was like, just do it, Mama. You love photography. You can do this. You're going to do a great job. So I was like, okay. So I did it, and it just, I don't know, it lit the fire back up in me, you know, just want to do this. I love photography, and I've never been much of a let's set this up and take pictures kind of gal. I like life happening. I like to take pictures of life as it happens, but a set up picture is nice too. So I did it. They had the outdoor wedding facing the vineyards out there, and it was just, the only thing is I really do have to start encouraging my clients to let me check out the venue ahead of time, because I didn't know it was going to be outdoors till we got there, and it was extremely hot, and I wasn't feeling well. Neither was Twisty. This was right before her surgery. But anyway, they had the chairs set up. There's a little concrete patio there, and right behind the concrete patio is the buildings, and between the fold-out chairs for the wedding and the building. So I realized when I was standing there taking photos, and I was behind everybody trying to stay out of the way, that I needed to get around so that I could get a good shot of their kiss as husband and wife. So I had to maneuver over these big giant rocks, try not to break my neck, try not to break my camera, try not to ruin the whole wedding. I couldn't go around the front because it would have disturbed the wedding. So yeah, plan. If you're starting out photography and you do weddings, you always need to check out the venue ahead of time. I knew that before I took a photography class. So, and I also plan on taking a couple of online classes. I'm really horrible at Photoshop, no lie, I know that. I use PicMonkey, and I always try to, I've kind of trained myself with digital photography to get a good shot, so that I don't have to do all this ridiculous editing. And for me, that kind of goes back to really loving film photography, because with film you don't know what you're going to get, so you really have to practice and hone your skills, and I think I have done that a lot. So you know, if you guys want to check out my photography page, it's at Stephanie Gomez Photography on Facebook, and I really love it if you go there and like it and check it out. But anyway, after that wedding, I got really inspired to start things back up. You know, with all the health issues and having to drop out of the photography program last year, and then finding out that I have an eye disease, that I potentially may lose my sight someday, I kind of had given up. I was almost to that point where I was like, well, you know, what's the point? I'm going to go blind. I'm too sick to get out and do anything. I have arthritis in my knees, and now it's, you know, in my arms and in my shoulder and my elbows. And it just, even after that, to be honest, I came home and I was really sore. We worked for 8 to 9 hours that day at that wedding. We stayed from beginning to end, almost. I felt like I had earned my keep after they cut the cake, and so I asked her, if you do not need me, I would like to go. I didn't want to be rude, but I basically got paid what most photographers would get paid for an hour of work, and I was there for 9 hours, and I'm not complaining. That's my fault. I lowballed myself really bad. We'll never do it again. There's only one more wedding I'm doing for that price, and it's because she asked me before, my cousin, and it's a good friend, so I'm going to do that. But from now on, I will charge a photographer's fee to do photography work. I even went in my page and changed my, you know, put prices on different things that I do. So anyway, I am now kind of shopping for a second camera body, because the problem is that if you're going to do things like that, especially on location shoots, weddings, events, or anything, you absolutely need a second and even a third camera body and a full line of lenses. So the camera that I have now, which is what I'm shooting on, is my Canon 60D, and I love it. It shoots great pictures. It's a higher end starter camera, I guess you would say. I don't know when I would ever be able to afford a Mark D, but one day, someday, I will have one. Those are like $3,500 for just the body, so, and that's starting price. But you know, I paid a good penny for my 60D about 4 years ago, and to be honest, it was when we got the back pay for my husband's death, and the kids were even, you know, like, buy a new camera, Mama. This is what you're going to do for a living someday. All three of my wonderful children, they were like, buy the camera, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't, you know, want to spend the money on, but I did, and I'm glad I did, because every time I do something with this camera. I think this is where Julian would want me to be. We always talked about when the kids got older, we would buy a small RV, and he always traveled for work, so he said, we'll just take our RV. He said, you'll take your camera, you know, we'll get you a nice camera set, and you'll be set up to take pictures and do what you love to do while I'm working during the day, and we'll just live all over the United States. So, you know, I'm not ashamed to do what I love, and even if you have to suffer a little bit for your art. So my suffrage right now is that I have to sell all of my really nice film cameras, especially my Bronica. I love that Bronica. It's a medium format, and it's so beautiful. I love taking photos with it. But the truth is, you do that for leisure, for pleasure. You don't, I wouldn't use that for a professional shoot with a client, because it's just cumbersome and it's very expensive. You get 15 pictures on a roll, and it costs $12 to develop them. So, and that's not including the shipping cost. So I'm going to give up my Bronica for now, and maybe when I get a little better, a little more up there, a little more clientele, I can go back and buy me another one. So I'm selling the whole gear. I've got that one and my rangefinder and a little Sears SLR camera that I have with like 3 or 4 lenses with it. So yeah, I'm just gonna sell off all that stuff, and I've done my little shopping to try and figure out what my next camera will be. It won't be as great as the 60D, but it'll be a secondary camera that I can have, and I also want a camera that I can go out and shoot every day with, because I'm really careful with my 60D. It cost me $1,800 I think for the body, and so I am extremely worried that I'm gonna damage it and then I won't have a camera at all. So, and Twisty and I walk every day, and I always like to take my camera out, so if I can get another body, I can use that one. And it's definitely going to be used or refurbished, and it's not going to be like this one. It's probably going to be one of the Rebel series. I'm a Canon girl, so it's not going to be anything but Canon. I appreciate my friends on Facebook. They know how much I love this, and they're constantly tagging me in those One Man's Junk or the thrift pages on Facebook, but it's always a Nikon. If you love me and you find a Canon that I can afford that's at least 18 megapixels, tag me in that. But I just kind of roll my eyes and like, Nikon? Yeah. No, I tried Nikon. I don't like it. And people say Nikon's so user friendly. Well, if you're used to a Canon, which I've always used, even when I had point and shoot, Canon is user friendly to you, and I find my Canon to be very user friendly. The Nikon I bought for review a while back, I used it for a few weeks, and I was like, it's opposite to the Canon. Like when you turn the Canon to tighten the lens onto it, you do it the opposite way with the Nikon. And when I had a Canon on one end and a Nikon on the, I found myself like getting mixed up all the time. So yeah, I want it to be compatible with the lenses I have too. So I don't need separate types of cameras, and then I have to get separate batteries, separate lenses, you know, everything's different. And then when you're on the fly trying to take wedding pictures and you grab one body and want to put the lens on it and it's a Nikon instead of a Canon, you're going to twist it the wrong way, then you're going to fumble with it. So yeah, I'm going with Canon. Plus I just love Canon. So if Canon wants to send me a camera that I can test out and show to my viewers, I would love that too, but that won't happen on this channel because I don't have enough viewers. But anyway, that's it. I've talked way too much, but this time y'all can hear me because my microphone's right there and it's turned on. So anyway, that's it, y'all. Peace. Love y'all. Bye bye.